Okay, get this. What if an Indian company could list on Wall Street, but without ever actually leaving India? It sounds kind of impossible, right? Well, something huge is happening right now that could totally rewrite the rules for how Indian businesses get their hands on global money.
I mean, think about it for a second. The ability to tap into that massive pool of Wall Street capital, trade in US dollars, and do it all from home base right here in India. For years, this was just a dream on a drawing board, but now it's actually happening. And the answer to that puzzle, the place where this is all going down, is a special economic zone in Gujarat called Gift City. Now, this is not just some other business park. It's been built from the ground up to be a brand new gateway for international finance, located right on Indian soil.
So, at the very heart of Gift City is this thing called an International Financial Services Center, or an IFSC. The easiest way to wrap your head around it is to think of it like a financial duty-free zone, It's physically inside India's borders, but it plays by a different set of rules. This allows companies to do business entirely in foreign currencies, like the US dollar, which makes it way easier for global investors to get in on the action.
So what really makes a listing here so different? Well, for starters, the whole shebang is in US dollars. The IPO, the shares, the trading, all of it. That immediately gets rid of any currency headaches for foreign investors. The whole system is designed to attract those big overseas players, global funds, institutions, you name it. And all this trading happens on brand new international exchanges that are designed to go head-to-head with financial hubs like Singapore and Dubai. And when you put the old way next to the new way, you really see what a game changer this is. Before, if an Indian company wanted to list overseas, it was a total maze of complicated foreign rules, huge costs, and tons of time. Now, the Gift City path is a much simpler process, based right here in India, but with a direct pipeline to global, dollar-denominated capital. It's a massive shortcut.
But look, this isn't just theory anymore. We have a pioneer, a company that's actually putting this whole idea to the test and becoming the very first to walk this path. So let's meet the Edtech firm that's making history.
And that company is XED Executive Development. They're a global executive education platform, and they are now the official trailblazer, the first to ever file for and launch a public offering from India's IFSC.
You can just feel the weight of this moment in the words of its founder, John Kaleli. For them, this isn't just another corporate milestone. He calls it a truly historic offering, a moment they've been working toward for a long time. It's huge for them, and it's huge for the Indian market.
And this isn't some plan for the future. It's happening right now. The subscription window for this landmark IPO just opened on March 16th, and it's set to close on March 24th, 2026. Right after that, the shares will hit the market and start trading on Gift City's international exchanges.
Okay, so we know this is a big deal historically, but what does it actually look like on paper? Let's dive in and break down the numbers behind this $12 million offer. The company is aiming to raise a total of $12 million US. Now, by global standards, that might not sound like a massive number, but its real significance isn't the size. It's the fact that it's the very first. So, where's all that money going? Well, the biggest piece of the pie, about $4.4 million, is earmarked for general corporate stuff and maybe some acquisitions. After that, we've got working capital and some serious investment in technology. So that tells you right away their focus is on growth, expansion, and beefing up their tech. And how's the business actually doing? Well, in the last fiscal year, XED pulled in almost $4.6 million in revenue, which is a pretty solid 15% jump from the year before. And what's really important here is that they're also profitable, both on an operating level and their final net profit.
And what makes XED such a perfect first candidate for this is that they're already a global company. Get this. A majority of their revenue, 54%, actually comes from Singapore. Another 41% comes from India, with smaller chunks from Saudi Arabia and the US. So this isn't just an Indian company with aspirations, it's an international business from day one.
Of course, anytime you're the first one to do something, it comes with a mix of massive opportunity and some pretty significant risks. So let's be fair and look at both sides of the coin here.
The bull case, the optimistic view, is pretty clear. This is a landmark moment. If it works, it proves the whole concept of Gift City is viable and unlocks a powerful new fundraising path for tons of other Indian companies. XED gets that first mover advantage, and global investors get a new, simple, dollar-denominated way to invest in India's growth story.
But you have to look at the bear case too.
The global education market is fiercely competitive, and $12 million isn't a giant war chest for global expansion. There are also real questions about how much trading activity or liquidity there will be on these brand new exchanges. Plus, their business could be hit hard if there's an economic downturn. So yeah, there are some real hurdles to clear.
But let's zoom out for a second. When you step back from XED's specific story, you realize the real headline here is so much bigger than just one company's IPO.
You don't have to take my word for it. The head of the NSE's International Exchange, Mr. Bala Subramaniam, he called this the realization of what Gift City was always meant to be. For him, this isn't just about a company. It's about the entire vision of creating a world-class financial hub finally coming to life.
And his counterpart over at the India International Exchange, Vijay Krishnamurthy, said pretty much the same thing. He says this IPO is a signal that India's IFSC has well and truly arrived on the global capital markets map. Both of the big exchanges are basically saying, okay, the dream is now reality.
Which brings us all the way back to that first big question. This one IPO, this single event, is the first real test case. Whether it succeeds or fails will send a powerful signal to the rest of the world. But whether it ends up being a small first step or a giant leap, one thing is for sure. A brand new chapter in India's financial story has just begun. And it leaves all of us wondering, are we witnessing the dawn of India's very own Wall Street?
Thanks for watching.